Now with week 2 in the books, it's time for a recap. Bell's Bombers puts up a ridiculous 170 points and is now part of the 150-plus club. Blanket Face's bench scores more than the starters, 86 to 81. I guess you'll think again before going with her gut next time. The Hungry Gators wins by a whopping 83 points. That's more than Blanket Face's starters combined. And lastly, the Mean Machine 35 gets a huge divisional win when everybody thought he was written off for the season. So congratulations, Mike. And now for the players. Most notable, Jamal Charles is out for the season. That's right, I said out for the season. Chica Victorioso's first-round pick can now be deemed a first-round bust. Cam Newton has another 400-yard game and scores 26 points for Mean Machine 35, and is turning out to be a top 5 quarterback so far this season. Miles Austin goes off for 3 touchdowns to score 37 points and is now out for the next few weeks. So that'll help his average, which is clearly going to go down because the next 3 weeks is going to be 0. So good luck with that, Mike Bell and the Bell's Bombers. In a stunning clutch performance, Vincent Jackson goes off for 172 yards, 2 touchdowns, and scores 29 much-needed points for the bacon-flavored cheese to pass the password is taco, who is now 0-2. And now for the East Divisional breakdown. On top, we have the Dripping Wickets, who, in a stunning performance, gets 2 early wins in the season and is on pace to sweep the division outright. The bacon-flavored cheese is coming off a close 5-point victory over the password is taco and is looking to explode in week 3. After last week's disappointing performance, Blanket Faces looks destined for the middle of the pack unless they can come up with a few big trades in order to help the team make a run for the playoffs. The once heavily favorites, the password is taco, is now sitting solely at the bottom of the division. With an 0-2 start, much like the Indianapolis Colts, are going to need something big to happen in order to even have a chance of making the wild card. And for the Central Division, we have the Hungry Gators atop with a perfect 2-0 season so far, looking to make it 3-0 by early Tuesday morning after they beat Mean Machine 35. Death to Spriggets is currently in second, but coming after a huge 83-point loss. That's more than their whole team had combined. So we're going to look to see how they fare for the rest of the season. But it's not looking good. Not whatsoever. Mean Machine 35 is on the up and up. Unfortunately, they have to play the soon-to-be division champs in the Hungry Gators. So you can look for them to have another loss, giving them a 1-2 record. So they're going to have to fight their way for a wild card spot once again this season. Last but not least, we have You Have No Shot in 4th place. Might as well change their name to You Have No Idea What You're Doing. Even a stacked receiving crew won't help this team get a win. We're going to have to wait and see if this week can be a glimmer of hope for Jim's You Have No Shot team. Now the West Division. We've got Chica Victorioso on top with 2 wins. Bell's Bombers and Team Flim Flam fighting for second place, both with a 500 record. And in last, Scottish Shanks. It's going to be tough for Chica Victorioso to stay on top of the leaderboard after losing her first-round pick, Jamal Charles, to a season-ending injury. After a lucky 170-point victory, Bell's Bombers is going to have to find a way to win without their golden boy, Miles Austin. Look for them to drop in the standings. Look for Team Flim Flam to make a run for first place in the division. After injuries plagued Chica Victorioso and Bell's Bombers, they have the team to do it. Let's see if the coaching can finally win some more games. The Scottish Shanks is going to have to manage his bye weeks in order to gain some cheap victories in order to have a shot at the last playoff seed. And here's a look at this week's power rankings. Besides the Hungry Gators and Chico Victorioso on top, and the Scottish Shanks and Deathless Brigates on the bottom, the middle is really anyone's for the taking. Week 3 matchups. With the Hungry Gators heavily favored in Week 3, they're looking to walk all over another unsuspecting victim. So we have to give the edge here to the Hungry Gators. With Michael Vick and Hakeem Nicks coming off injury, we're going to have to give this game to the bacon-flavored cheese. With the solid lineup that the bacon-flavored cheese has, it's just no match for the Blanket Faces. Even with the loss of Jamal Charles, Chico Victorioso is still going to have another punishing victory over Team Flim Flam. We expect Tolbert to go off this week against the weakened Kansas City Chiefs and totally break their spirit. The Dripping Wickets are going to squeak out another victory against the Password is Taco, whose players just can't seem to all show up in the same week. I guess that's just what happens when you give everybody the password. They break in and steal all of your wins. After another loss, it might be time for a team makeover. The Scottish Shanks come up big this week over Bell's Bombers to get their first win of the season. Chris Johnson finally shows up to play, and Miles Austin doesn't even get dressed. It was a great run, Bombers, but we all know that it couldn't last. And now for our most surprising after Week 3. The most surprising 3-0 team is the Dripping Wickets, which is just proof that good things can happen to bad people. The Dripping Wickets, who will be chanting all week long, hate it or love it, the underdog's on top, after pummeling the Password is Taco and leading us to our most surprising 0-3 team. They just can't seem to get anything right this year. If you believe in karma like me, it just goes to show that all that shit talking the Password is Taco did before the season finally paid off for them. So that's the end of our video. Have a great week, everybody. Good luck to all.
Love it, the underdogs on top, and I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me. Hated to love it, the underdogs on top, and I'm gon' shine, homie, until my heart stop. Go ahead, envy me. I'm Raps MVP, and I ain't going nowhere, so you can get to know me. I told Dre from the gate.